Thank you for watching Sweet Eminence Candle Company. In today's tutorial, we will learn how to make scented soy wax candles. Here we have a list of supplies that you will need: candle tins or candle jars, wick clips, wick stickers, a wick trimmer, a scale, natural soy wax, fragrance oil, a whisk, pouring pitcher, hot plate or stove, a heat gun, and warning labels. Let's just start off by cleaning off our candle tins. Make sure there's no dust that can fall inside the tins while we pour our wax. We like to use candle tins the most because they're a decent size, and plus they're really convenient. This one's giving me a little trouble here. Now we have our wick stickers and our wick clips that we're going to use to clip the wooden wicks inside of. We need about 6 for this video because we're going to double wick. And here we have our wooden wicks that we're going to cut in half and place inside of our candle tins. Start with the wick stickers, which we'll put on top of the wick clips, and eventually stick those inside of the candle tins. Now we just peel off the back and stick them inside the tins. This process is fairly easy. And there we go, our first tin. And we're just going to follow the same steps for the next 2 tins. Stick our wick clips inside. And move on to the last tin. And something else you can do, you can use a hot glue gun. Just follow the same steps. You don't need the wick stickers if you use a hot glue gun. You can just put the hot glue on the bottom of the wick clips and stick them inside the tins just like we're doing right now with the wick stickers. Okay, we have our last tin complete. So now we're going to take our wooden wicks and cut each one in half because these candles will be double wicked. As you can see, the wick trimmer makes it much easier to cut the wicks in half. You can also use scissors or any other tool that you might use to cut items, but the wick trimmer is the best tool. All you do now is just pop the wooden wick into the wick clip. And there you have it. And we'll do the same thing for the next two tins. A fairly easy process, as you can see. And the last 10. Now we can move on to our warning labels. All candles should have warning labels on them. Not only do they tell you how to take care of your candles, but also let you know the dangers of using candles unattended. So make sure you always put your warning labels on. We're going to move on to weighing the wax and the fragrance oil. The easiest methods you can use for the wax and the fragrance oil is for every 1 pound of wax, you use 1 ounce of fragrance oil. Right now we're going to set our scale to pounds. We've already zeroed the scale. And for the sake of the video, we're going to use 1 pound of wax, but we're actually going to do it into 2 parts. So we'll do 1/2 pound and then we'll do another 1/2 pound. That way it can fit on the screen. There's our first 1/2 pound. And now we're going to move on to the second 1/2 pound of wax. If you go over just a little bit, it's okay, because once you pour the wax, not all of it will pour from your pouring pitcher. As the wax starts to harden, you'll lose some of the weight that you measured in the beginning. Now to measure our fragrance oil, we're going to set this to ounces. Remember, for every pound of wax, we're going to use 1 ounce of fragrance oil. And as you can see, I forgot to reset the scale before I put the glass on. but the bottle here I'm using is exactly 1 ounce, so it's okay for now. Now we're going to go on to the double boil method. We prefer the double boil method because we don't like to sit the wax directly onto the heat source, and with the double boiling method it helps keep that wax, you know, nice and clear. It won't burn this way. So you can put a small pot or pan on your heat source, heat it up, put your wax in your pouring pitcher, and just, you know, wait for it to melt. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna speed it up just a little bit because it takes a while for the wax to melt. For this fragrance oil, we have to heat the wax to 180 degrees, which is the flash point for the fragrance oil, so you get that rich smell. And as you can see, the wax melted pretty quickly. And once again, we have to reach a temperature of 180 degrees for this particular fragrance oil. We're going to go ahead and measure the temperature. You can use any type of thermometer, candy thermometer. Here we have a meat thermometer that we're using. Okay, right now it's around 170 degrees. We need about 10 more degrees. So we'll just let this go ahead and heat up a little more. A few more seconds. Let's check the temperature again. Last time it was 170 degrees, and this time, let's see. And there we go, 180 degrees. Okay, we are on 187. So we'll just let that cool off just a bit. So it goes back down to 180 degrees. It's important that you follow the instructions on your fragrance oil, because sometimes if you either go over or under, your candles won't have the fragrance that you're looking for. Okay, now it's time to pour our 1 ounce of wax into the 1 pound of wax. So 1 ounce of fragrance oil into 1 pound of wax. And the next step is to stir your wax and the fragrance oil just to make sure they blend. You can stir for about 1 to 2 minutes. I know some usually stir for a few seconds and stop and then come back and stir again, but we try to keep a continuous stir going just to be safe. And for some, this can be the boring part, so you can speed it up a little bit. And we're almost finished, but we'll just cut a little bit of it so you don't have to wait too long. And we're just about finished stirring. You just want to make sure that the fragrance oil and wax are mixed pretty well. That should just about do it. Now that the wax cooled off to about 140 degrees, we're just going to start to fill the tins. We're using 8-ounce tins, but you'll get about 6.5 ounces of wax in each 8-ounce tin. Now the 3 tins are topped off. We'll speed up the curing process. And there we go, fully cured candles. Again, as you can see, there are some imperfections on the top of the wax. A few craters. I see a few bubbles on the wicks, but that's not a problem. What you'll always do before you complete your candle is get a heat source, and we're just gonna smooth out the tops. Okay, right now we're going to trim the wicks. So that way we can put the tops on once we're complete. And once the customers receive the candles, we always suggest that they trim a little bit more, a little bit closer to the wax so you have a nice burn. And now we're going to take those imperfections out by using our heat source to smooth the top of the wax candles. This eliminates bubbles, like I say, any craters that you may have in your candles, or sinkholes. Luckily we didn't pour too hot, so we don't have any sinkholes. We just have a few bubbles and a few imperfections. So just make sure you go on a circular motion around the candles. Try not to stay in one spot too long because you don't want to burn the wicks or the wax. So just go on a circular motion until a wax pool forms on the top of your candles. Once the wax pool forms, you can let it sit for a few minutes so the wax can harden again, and then you'll see how smooth each top will be. Okay, the candles have cured one more time, and now you can see the difference in the smoothness of the candle tops. This one we may have to go over it one more time to smooth it out like the first, and this one also. Right now we're going to add our labels. And what we try to do is line up the label with the wicks, so that way it won't be off-centered and everything flows evenly. And for those of you who were wondering, this is our green tea and lemongrass candle. Green tea and lemongrass, which will be available on our website at www.sweeteminence.com. And now for the last 10. We'll place the last sticker, same position. We line it up with the wicks inside of the tins so everything flows evenly. And just put our tops back on, and we're pretty much finished with the process. Hopefully this was very helpful to you all, and I hope you all learned the easy way to make soy wax candles at home. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.